And we're live. Welcome to Late Night Madness. I am Mad Dodge, the Mad Libertarian. I am sorry. I do apologize. I apologize for all the jokes and poor taste that have ever came out anywhere. You know, Robin Williams. I apologize for him. George Carlin. I apologize for him. Chris Rock. I apologize for him. I know. He's black. He gets away with his jokes, but they were still in poor taste. So I apologize. I apologize for everything I've ever said on my channel that you find offensive because you're a sissy la la little fucking cunt. I apologize for that. Um the shit is getting ridiculous here, people. And I don't go solo at all. And here I am. You know why? Because this is ridiculous. People want to attack me over what? Jokes about penguins? Are you fucking kidding me? Can you grow up a little bit? How about we be grown ass adults for once? How about that? How about you stop being a sissy lala over a goddamn joke? What happened to George Carlin's 7 things you can't say on TV? What happened to that? Did you forget about that? Should I pull it up? Should we play it? Would we get banned? That would be interesting, considering it came out in the 70s or 80s. Real interesting. I think this is getting ridiculous and insane. I think you people are crazy. I think you people need to calm the fuck down and sit the fuck down. Sit on your hands. Stop false flagging. Stop being a little bitch. How about that? Like, let's be real about it. Fucking ridiculous. This shit around here. Let's check the fucking chat. What's up, Cass? Hey, man, the link is in my fucking chat, dude. You want to jump on? Jump on, dude. I'm rolling solo right now. I could use the help. I'm fucking done with this shit. I'm sick of being fucking looked at. Oh my god, you made a fucking bad joke. Fuck you. Fuck you and the horse you rode in on. It's ridiculous. How about we grow the fuck up? You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna fucking do it. I'm gonna pull up a goddamn George Carlin video here. Let's dissect this shit. Let's see what jokes really fucking are. How about that? George Carlin. Bam. All right, list of people that ought to be killed. Okay. I wonder if my channel would ever get away with this shit. Let's fucking see. Let's check it out. List of people that ought to be fucking killed, Cass.
Oh, hello there.
Something else a lot of you are aware of, those of you with illegal cable hookups will be aware of the fact that one of the things I like to do in my shows is complain. You know, it's kind of a motif for me, complaining. And of course, this weird culture.
I mean, how can he claim me? He's dead, right?
So this next piece of material is fairly simple. It's just a list of people who ought to be killed. Starting with these people who read self-help books. Why do so many people need help? Life is not that complicated.
Right? Life is not that fucking complicated. Let's get to that, Cass. Let's talk about that. You know, because I think somebody out there might just fucking copyright the video if I let it play right through. Life is not that fucking complicated, is it, Cass? What the fuck is wrong with these fucking people?
Well, who are we referring to exactly?
The assholes that get offended by stupid jokes about penguins, or they get offended by, I don't know, Crowder and
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, since we're still on this topic for a bit, I don't think it is. The thing is, if you're the kind of person that's going to be overly offended about jokes, right? Then that says a lot more about you than anyone else. That says about how much of a weakling you are. So it's not that life is complicated for you. It's just you're too weak to handle, basic bitch shit in life. Everyone goes through hardships, right? The answer is you're not special because you've been through some problems in your life. What could be argued as being special is how you learn to deal with it and how you learn to be stronger as a person.
Well, is a shirt talking about figs offensive?
Figs, the type of tree that that fucking revolutionary asshole, if you can call him that, got hanged when he got caught.
I didn't know that actually.
Yeah, no, that was a very clever political play on words. But so I think it's pretty funny. I don't know about you, but maybe it's just my skin for a fox is quite thick. I am dumb and thick.
Yeah, no, and Cass, man, this shit's getting ridiculous out here. All right, I hit 1,500 subscribers. I'm monetized finally, and now they want to go with Adpocalypse 3.0. Fuck off! Like, seriously, are you kidding me right now? Like, fuck you.
It's always something about us small YouTubers. We work really hard to get where we are, and then boom, they fuck us right when we get somewhere.
Right? That's what I'm saying, man. And I'm trying to prove a point here though, with the George Carlin video. So we're gonna go back to it because list of people that ought to be killed. Oh, this is perfectly fine. 99,000 upvotes, 4.7 down. Carlin's just fine.
Get up, you go to work, eat 3 meals, you take 1 good shit, and you go back to bed. What's the fucking mystery? The part I really don't understand, if you're looking for self-help, why would you read a book written by somebody else? Self-help? That's help.
He's got a goddamn point. Like, fucking hell. All right.
There's no such thing as self-help. You did it yourself. You didn't need help. You did it yourself. Try to pay attention to the language we've all agreed on.
Yeah, the Queen's English, bitch.
And a similar mystery to me. Motivation books, motivation seminars. Why would anyone need to be motivated by someone else? I say if you lack motivation, a seminar isn't going to help you. What you really need is to be smashed in the head 30 or 40 times with a golf club.
God damn, that's a little harsh, brother.
That's why I love George Carlin. He gave no shits when he was alive. He gave absolutely no shit.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Absolutely. And see, I don't even know if I need to play the full 20-minute video because I think you guys get the goddamn point, right?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, clear here.
George Carlin would not be allowed on YouTube nowadays.
Oh yeah,
and he was on HBO. He was in clubs all around the country. I mean, this guy is fucking famous, and circa 2019 he would be demonetized. What?
It goes to show you how much this if I want to be a little pretentious like everyone else, use the old nihilism, black pill for you real quick. It's like we're watching a world that go honk honk and started setting itself on fucking fire with gasoline. It's like everything is just, you can't make a joke anymore. You can't have political statements that disagree with a mainstream narrative on anything. You can't think for yourself. Oh, that's a big no-no, apparently. They really hate you thinking for yourself. No, that's how evil. You're literally Hitler because you don't really need us, therefore you're a threat. That's how these people think.
Yeah. Well, no, and Cass, I did see that you were streaming earlier today, I believe. And
that was a little dumb rant. I was actually thinking of expanding this conversation with an actual video of my own so I can actually because there's a few things I don't think anyone has really talked about. But I know someone else did, and I'll talk about that in the video. So go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just bringing up. I did see that you were streaming. I was busy at the time, so I did
That's all
not
good.
watch it. What is your take? You got Tim Pool wigging the fuck out. You have me and my crew here. We wigged the fuck out twice today over this shit. You got crickets from Styx, which is odd. Even High Impact Flicks is talking about it. VAR got banned. He is totally removed from YouTube now. And he didn't do anything at all. He talks about fucking runes and Nordic history and shit. Like, what the fuck did you ban him for? I mean, seriously. Shit is blowing up, man. It's a gigantic dumpster fire, and the only person happy right now is probably Andy Worski.
Yeah, to be fair, I can see that. Yeah. Well, here's my take on all of this shit. You know, if you allow me to go on a retarded tangent for 5 minutes, at least about 2 to 3.
Yeah, dude, you got it. Go ahead.
All right. So I think the problem is that deep down inside, we all knew this was going to happen. YouTube has always been quite fucking blunt with us in different regards that they want to become the next cable. They don't really value us content creators. We're a new concept that they failed to recognize are what we bring to the table versus the mainstream media. Like, they can go all days about how all these companies have resources and money, but yeah, you say that. That's true, right? But since when did any of these billions of dollars make the same numbers that people like Styx and Tim and all these other people do? Like, I would like to see some more evidence of these companies actually getting the same numbers. And the thing is, they don't. They really fucking don't. Especially the mainstream media companies. They're dying for a reason. And all I'm seeing with the shit with like Crowder is just a weak excuse that the other guy made who went after him, whatever his name is. He went after him because he's got a grudge against him, but he's also got a grudge against every one of us because of the fact we're not mainstream pundits, we're not mainstream cucks, we're not their soy boys, we're not their little hoes, their little bitches, we're not their little pigs and their pay pigs trying to basically say Orange Man bad every day, that we actually try to think nuance on something at least every once in a while. They don't like that. They hate us. And right now, this is what I describe as we're in the middle, and we've been in this way for a while, in the middle of an information war. Right now, it's everyone else, the average Joe, versus companies that want to have control over your information and what you can see and what you can think. Versus us, which is we want to be able to dissect information, search for it, and be able to have our different interpretations, and people follow those interpretations based on what they believe on, or if it's truthful or not. Now, we can get onto the semantics games on that one, but we're in the middle of a war. We need to stop denying it. And if we keep letting these fuckers kick over us instead of, I don't know, fighting back a little bit, like going after their reputations and going after their cash flow, we're done. There's really no other way for me to say it.
Yeah, when it comes to the point where jokes are no longer okay.
Yeah.
And this is something that was told to me earlier today. I was told context doesn't matter. That's what I was told. Context does matter. If you jump into a live stream and you jump in on a joke and you hear the word Nazi, maybe you should rewind a little bit and figure out the context of what they were saying before you jump to conclusions.
Oh, yeah. Like,
how about we be adults about this? How about we be grown-ups?
Well, that's something I wish we can do that. That's something I do, though, when people say, like, oh, this guy's a pedophile, especially since I'm making a series documenting and laughing at pedophiles. And there's been people giving me information about all these different possible pedophiles and supporters, and all this other crazy shit. And, like, people calling, oh, this guy's a Nazi. And, like, when it comes to accusations, I try my best to make sure that if it's an accusation, that I have to look into the context if that person really is what they say they are, before I make a decision. Because if I don't, oof, I don't want to go and make bad situations where I ruin someone's livelihood over some really stupid shit, like someone said over petty drama that this person's a Nazi or a pedophile, which happens a lot. Unfortunately, we live in that time where discourse is dead, essentially.
It could go, many different ways. Like somebody could go, "Hey, Cass, I heard Mad Dog yell at his kid. He's a child abuser." You're like, "Wait, what?" And then you go listen back and go, "Wait, no, he's not. You're a fucking idiot." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you just jump to the conclusion, then you would attack me with no basis whatsoever.
Yeah, and that's
and and we would go back and forth. It'd be a war from that point, right? I mean, I'm not going to take that shit lying down.
Of course. Well, it's not my first time I've been in weird situations like this where people want me to make some weird hit piece on some other individual. Like I don't have to say names. You've seen the people involved in this side of the internet getting some weird ass dramas where every once in a while someone's asking my opinion if I should join in on this fight, and I'm just like 9 times out of 10 I say fuck no, because I'm not interested in your fucking drama. Let's be honest. If it's going to be drama, I'm going to talk about drama that I find interesting, and oftentimes that I'm in it enough just to laugh at a bunch of internet spurgs. That's all I care about, especially if going after some pedophiles, actual pedophiles, which I already have a few times on my streams. It's fucking hilarious how spurgy those people are. But like when it comes down to it, yeah, context matters, and what really sucks, what really angers me in a lot of ways is how there's no one wants discussion anymore, especially not the people we're dealing with in an ideological level, especially on the what's they call themselves now, fucking bread tubers, like the very left-wing progressive types that support people who go after Steven Crowder and others. They call themselves bread tubers now, by the way. And since I know you guys are into political philosophy and some books, you should already know how retardedly obvious that name is. But yeah, you get my point. Is we're seeing a time where people don't want to have a discourse, and it's getting really bad, and these companies are abusing it even more.
Well, no, and the problem really is, Cass. Okay, you have people like me. I'm a libertarian. Basically, if it's not the abortion debate or economics, I'm pretty left wing. I really am, and they're making me go towards the right. They are forcing me in that direction because I have no other option. They're forcing me out of the conversation. And once they do that, then I'm going to go where my conversation will be heard. And where will the libertarians be heard? In conservative circles. Yeah, they might laugh at us, but at least they're engaging with us.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. At least the right wing, the conservatives, when you argue with them, they are willing to entertain a discussion. Now is how far they'll go. That depends on, I guess, the kind of conservative you're talking about. But as far as I know, this is what I've noticed too, because I've interacted with plenty of left-wing groups, and every single time they either wanted to dox you or threaten to cut off your head because they don't agree with you. And that's not me being over dramatic. That's legit how a lot of left-wing groups I come across all the time seem to think about you. Is like you disagree with them, and they literally want to destroy everything about you and make sure that you have no chance of ever fucking them over if you ever take enough money, capital, fame, influence to ever give them their just dues for what they've done. So at least the conservatives are willing to talk. At least the conservatives are willing. And that's the thing about libertarians and conservatives I always find interesting. They always have a interesting alliance with each other in that regard, because they're at least willing to talk to each other. Really weird how that works.
That's actually a really good point. And I'm glad you brought that up, because that is very true. And if you look at people, even like Tim Pool is a centrist. I would say Tim Pool is a Democrat. I would argue that he is a Democrat, and he just doesn't want to come out and say it. They are shoving him to the right. They are shoving Tim Pool, of all people, to the right. Let that sink in, man. Come on.
Well, see, what makes me concerned about this is another thing that I think I'm noticing, but I'm not really sure, and I'm not sure if other people see it as this is too. But when I was looking into this about people like Tim Pool and Sargon, they're all classical liberals, right? They're all in the older generation of what liberals used to mean. But nowadays, what used to mean liberal nowadays tends to mean, you're a progressive, which are not the same philosophy as classical liberalism. So nowadays, it's like it's either you're a borderline commie or you're a Nazi, because of the discourse has now been made that if you're not progressive, then you are alt-right. So even even classical liberals like them are being pushed into into that same category as the conservatives and the libertarians, unfortunately. And it's really retarded.
Yeah. Well, no, and I noticed the difference circa 2016 when they came out and said it's okay to punch a Nazi and a libertarian. When they said and a libertarian, my jaw fucking dropped. Like, are you kidding me right now?
These are the same kind of people that went with the liberals get the bullet too. So it really shows you who they consider in their alliances, which is practically nobody but their own little cult. It's actually quite unfortunate.
Yeah, no, dude, and my jaw hit the ground, and the fact remains, there are certain people on the libertarian side that aren't helping. Christopher Cantwell, dude, knock it off. You went full Nazi. Go fuck yourself. Straight up. I disassociate with your viewpoint, sir. I do not agree. But once again, he's not making jokes. He actually believes that shit. I'm making jokes and I'm being attacked. Man, if it's not okay to make jokes, then we have a problem. And if you want to talk about context, well, then rewind the video, bro. It's not that hard. Like, you have a mouse. You just scroll backwards a little bit, and you'll hear the context of said joke. Like, okay, I got the shut up memes coffee cup, right? Cabby passed away.
I remember.
Rest in peace. Rip. But that being said, shut up memes. You don't hear memes yelling at me, telling me to take that down. No, not at all. Why? Because he gets the fucking joke. Because he rewinded the goddamn video and he heard the joke. Come on now. And the same thing goes for Crowder, which is why I'm harping on it, is because Crowder has the same issue here. His videos are espousing jokes. He is doing satire. He is being sarcastic. Sarcasm is a word in the English language. Ever hear of it?
Baby, it's not like I am the literal embodiment of sarcasm. No siree. I'm just a random foxu.
Yeah, exactly.
I get into so much trouble with people because I'm just such a sarcastic, snarky little fanatic on the internet.
Wait! You said figgot, right?
Yeah.
You didn't say the A word.
Yeah, I thought I said fig.
Okay, as long as you said fig.
I probably didn't. Oh, my bad. That's another thing about my shows. I honestly couldn't give a single fuck about these words and all this stuff. I still say it. So my bad if that's the case. But you get my point.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I was making a joke. Like, okay, so what's the difference between fig and FAG? What's the difference?
I don't think there is. I think it's just a clever play on words, just a joke about like, oh, it's for this. and people took it seriously, like it's some kind of
Well,
derogatory
Cass,
term.
full disclosure here. Which way do you lean?
Which way do I lean?
Yeah, are you straight?
I am the definition of loving that boy pussy, so not necessarily.
That's what I thought, and I didn't want to put words in your mouth. That's why
No,
I
it's
asked you
good.
that question.
If you want anything about it, I would say I'm closer to bi, but tend to lean towards the men on that regard.
There you go. Do you take offense from Crowder's shirt?
Oh fuck no! I thought it was funny.
Okay. I think if I would have asked Prince of Queens the same question, I believe he would have answered the same way. I believe if I would have asked anybody I know in real life who is gay, which I do know a couple people, they would have answered the same way. I think this is a fake outrage.
Of course,
Yeah.
it's
And of course, so you totally agree, but go ahead and elaborate a little bit.
well, it's clear that the only reason what was this guy's name again? I forget things. It's a little late, so excuse me if some of the details is a tiny bit fuzzy about this little work of art we're going to be talking about right now. This guy who got upset with Crowder, I assume that this is all just literally an example of him trying to take down Crowder because he doesn't like Crowder. And what better way of doing it than waiting until it's Pride Month, where essentially it's the perfect time to virtue signal about who isn't for the gays and who is for the gays and who deserves to get hurt for that and who doesn't. So this guy decides, hey, I have a good way of fucking with this guy, right? So I'm going to go and essentially make accusations that aren't really true, exaggerate jokes, exaggerate humor, and products this guy has made for the sake of his humor, and of course making a buck out of it, which I don't disagree with that. If you're good at something, never fucking do it for free, by the way. Um, and for some reason, it is fake outrage because there's nothing genuine about it. It's not because gays are being discriminated against or any of that bullshit. And in fact, that hasn't really been the case in a while, especially with the whole gay marriage thing. This whole like idea of Western civilization being anti-gay is kind of a bullshit argument when you actually examine any amount of history at this point in time.
Yeah, no, and I would even add, Cass, sorry to cut you off, but
No,
I
it's
would
okay.
even add, I was 19 years old, I believe, the election that came out in Oregon, to legalize, gay marriage, and even then, I voted in favor of legalizing gay marriage. Why? Because I don't believe the government has any business regulating marriage.
Yeah.
I believe that is the job of the church, or that is the job of the local city municipality. I do not believe it is the job of the federal government or the state government. And that's how I've always seen it. So, I mean, anybody even trying to say that I'm anti homosexual, go fuck yourself. How many trans people have I had on my channel? How many homosexual people have I had on my channel, or bisexual for that matter? I am a pretty open individual, and I let everybody on with their separate viewpoints, and I hear them out.
Yeah. See, but like as I've made it pretty obviously clear about this point, is you can tell that a lot of this shit with this guy going after, Crowder, it's not based on anything more than this guy has an issue with them. He wants the virtue signal to destroy this guy, so he does that, and he uses this anti-gay narrative to try to get rid of Crowder. There's no way of saying it. There's no other way of pointing it out than that's exactly how it is. How this guy is, especially since Carlos. That's exactly his name is. Especially since Carlos is such a fucking hypocrite. He goes out of his way to say things about how evil and wrong Steven Crowder's harmful display of jokes about fucking about the gays and his little like things and his t-shirts as it's harming gay people and all this other shit. I'm like, Nick, you got involved in a situation that has ruined the financial livelihoods of thousands of fucking families. Don't sit here and moral fag about who's the more dangerous or more fucked up person here, you stupid jackass.
Yeah, that's something, you know, because I am going to wrap up here soon because it's getting late. I need to go to bed, but that's something we do need to talk about real quick. He is not only attacking Steven Crowder and the 12 people on his staff, as well as his lawyer. He is attacking me. He is attacking you.
Yeah.
He is attacking Tyro. He is attacking MC. He is attacking memes. He is attacking everybody.
Yeah.
All of us. That cannot stand.
Yeah.
It can't. If it's fuck me, it's fuck you too.
And here's what I support, because I know a certain person I came across watching their stream. One of the people on this side of the internet, a bit on the MGTOW side, but he made a great point. If you really want to fuck with these companies, there's two things about these companies. Well, at least this is the one I add. Companies care about image and they care about money. And if you can threaten both of these, they'll either stop or they'll die. And if they're going to come after us, declare their little wars and try to take us out, then I think that we have every right to fight back with our exposés about them. Their writers, their journalists, their people. Because if you look at anything about these journalists, all of them are just about all of them are disgusting fucking people. Like this Carlos faggot. Yeah, I've said it. Carlos guy. He literally has a disgusting background. This guy is a literal degenerate, and that's not because he's gay. It's because he's a piece of shit who has a tendency of acting like a pervert and doing things like sticking his dick out on the internet.
Yep. That's what I was gonna say. I saw that fucking video by Jim, Medicare today. Yeah, like homeboy has his fucking penis out there like pro Jared status. Like, fuck you, dude. I don't have my penis on the fucking internet, bro. Like, come on now. Like, who's the real piece of shit here? Come on.
Yeah, exactly. These are all shitty people. And that they should be called out as such. They need to be if they're going to try to do their bullshit exposés, then they should get their exposés too from the content creators, from people who have more influence than they do. Right? So
real quick, Lotus Wolf. What the fuck are you guys talking about ogre again? No, Lotus. No, we're not.
Oh.
God damn it. That's a good joke, though. 2 thumbs up on that one. Yeah. But no, we're talking about the dumbass from Vox. This is the 3rd stream I've done in 24 hours on this topic. Oh, yeah. It's a dumpster fire, Cass. It's a
complete dumpster fire, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot more because I don't think YouTube's going to be satisfied with just demonetizing people. It's clear that at a certain point, like they're going to realize demonetizing people isn't enough to stop them, so they're just going to go and like delete us from the internet as a whole.
Well, is that where D Live and Minds and BitChute and all these other platforms come into play? Well, that's where we're going to have to defect, right?
As a likelihood, yes. But at the same time, since these other companies have far more influence and shit, they can easily tank those entire sites if they wanted to. I think the main course of action is trying to go after their image and their ability to basically get money out of it. It should be the real cause. And of course, I'm not going to justify things like flagging or any of that bullshit because let's be honest, given that there's a complete different standard to a company than there is to the individual, like if you're the kind of faggot, like I saw some people doing, like they're trying to flag these mainstream media sources, it's not going to work, buddy.
Yeah, well, no, and I want to make this very, very clear. I do not endorse flagging anybody. I am not mundane, Matt, and I do not endorse that whatsoever. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, if I had a mass flagging campaign against me, I'd be fucking pissed. So that being said, why would I endorse that against anybody else? That makes me a hypocrite and a piece of shit. I'm not a piece of shit. Do not go and mass flag anybody. But I did tweet out this douchebag, from Vox. And if you want to tweet at him too, then go for it.
Yeah.
He is flagging people on Twitter, so do that at your own risk. But tell him that he's a fucking piece of shit. He deserves to know it.
Yeah.
That being said, Cass, it's always a pleasure, man. You doing a show tomorrow? What's going on over on your end of the YouTube?
I've been trying to see if I can focus more on videos, and I think for actual streams, it really depends. I tend to kind of settle on things a lot later, but yeah, I am on the process of making more videos, making more streams. It's just mostly me trying to figure out another thing. If you're interested, there's a series of videos and streams I'm trying to make called the Peto Files, where it's me basically looking up information of what I can confirm are things like pedo apologists, pedo supporters, pedophiles, and document and make fun of them.
Did you find that one bitch? The only thing I remember is I don't remember her screen name, but I do remember the dog kennels behind her in her video.
Uh-oh.
Do you know what bitch I'm talking about, or no? You haven't found her yet.
I think that person might be new to me, but there is an individual I am currently making a video on that you may not have heard yet, but there's a reason why I'm keeping silent, because I don't want his social media to be deleted. But he's a funny individual. Let's just say, basically what you can describe him as a person looks like a retarded Magikarp with Down syndrome. And one of his favorite arguments against you is, get an education, conservative. So trust me, it's going to be funny.
Yeah, no, that sounds entertaining. And Lotus Wolf says, first off, yeah, Irate Bear just went live. Everybody, after we wrap up, go jump over to Irate Bear's channel. Yeah. Lotus Wolf also said, everyone should stop being on YouTube for a week. This is how we fight back. That might be a good idea. I don't know how we could coordinate something like that. It's been tried before, after the 2016 adpocalypse, and nothing ever came out of it. So I don't know how you can coordinate with, thousands of YouTubers to all walk away for a week, walk away from their ad income, walk away from their super chats, walk away from their audience. I don't know how you can convince them to do so. Cass, last thoughts. Do you have anything on that? Do you think we could convince these people? Because I don't know if we could.
When it comes down to it, sometimes we all have to realize that there's just people out there we can't reason with, and they'll never be able to want to reason with us. And if they're going to play war games, then our best option is to pull a little Linsky tactics and fuck with them back, at least in some regards. Of course, that doesn't mean you should use the same tactics or strategies that are just awful and they don't work and what have you, or completely off the wall. But there needs to be a way that we're like, if you want to get YouTube a certain place where people can actually do what they want to get on it, you're going to have to learn to fight back figure out a way to fight back. And for corporations, the main way of doing it is with money, making them lose money and making them lose clout with people. And with the mainstream media, they've lost a lot of both. It's mostly a matter of pushing them on the edge so they die faster, because right now it seems like, to me, from what I can tell, since they know they're dying, they're trying really hard to make us die with them. They're trying to basically be the crazy captain in the ship trying to drown us in the ship. That is YouTube, and that is sinking. So
yeah, absolutely. And here's my final statement. I am sorry. I am sorry for YouTube. I'm sorry for the fact that you can't understand that your content creators are the backbone of your company and that you keep trying to push them out and alienate them. I am sorry. I am sorry to anybody who has been offended by a penguin joke. Um, I get it. I have been rude to all of bird kind. Um, and I apologize. I'm also sorry to anybody who saw a tweet that I retweeted out that might have been offensive. You know, maybe I tweeted out Crowder. Maybe I tweeted out Penoid. Maybe I tweeted out Cass. You know, he is a dumb faggot. Oh, I apologize, Cass, for calling you a faggot. Like that, I deeply apologize.
Considering all this dumb drama, I can definitely use one right fucking now, you know?
I apologize to anybody that I've ever hurt. Indirectly or directly. You know, maybe I ran over your cat and I didn't notice. I'm sorry. The thing is, just like Crowder, we make jokes.
Mhm.
We are ultimately entertainers and political pundits. That's what you come here for. You come to listen to us talk and to listen to us make jokes.
Yeah.
And if that's not why you're here, then I don't know why you're here. And I don't necessarily know why I should apologize. Honestly. You know, it's coming to the point where if it's fuck me, then it's fuck you too. I'm sorry. You know, fuck you. Am I wrong, Cass? Where am I wrong?
I don't think you're wrong at all. If you're gonna start fucking with me, right? Then I'm not the kind of pussy. Okay, let's make this clear. Because there's a lot of people like to question me about certain things. I'm not a pussy. If you start like, there's a lot of things I'm willing to forgive, but if you start fucking with me, like absolutely fucking with me, and when I mean by fucking with me, I mean trying to harm my livelihoods and shit, trying to get people involved and hurt me financially over stupid shit like a joke. Ooh, I'm gonna fire back. I ain't no pussy. And I think right now, if YouTube wants to get somewhere better, especially the content creators, they need to realize, you know what? Maybe it might be time to grow a backbone. Hey, Boogie2988. Yeah, you? Yeah, Boogie. Maybe learn to get a backbone. Maybe learn to fight. You'll be surprised how much that will work for you. Because at this point on YouTube, they're going to destroy you if you're going to sit on your ass and do nothing.
You know what's interesting is he actually grew a little bit of a backbone today. He came out in favor of Crowder. He came out swinging a little bit. You have him. You have Drama Alert, Keemstar. You have all these people coming out. I think the wagons are circling, and I think YouTubers are going to start going to bat for each other, and I believe that's a good thing.
Yeah, well, I'll say for that is it's mostly because I think we're starting to realize that we're forced in the situation and there's nothing else we can do about it. So if we're not trying to support each other, then how are we going to keep this thing going? That's the real fucking question is we can easily let YouTube and the higher ups in the Silicon Valley destroy us, and it's very easy. We're in that position. We put ourselves in that position for years. Now we're starting to see some of the worst effects of it, and it's not even like the tip of the iceberg. We're realizing how many years of doing nothing has gotten us, and if we don't if you don't stop that, you know, giant deadly snowball hitting your house right fucking now, it's going to be too late.
Absolutely. And matter of fact, Cass, I think that's the perfect way to end it. I know we only had a couple people watching tonight. It's late. I don't usually do a show at this hour. So thank you guys for coming out, and I appreciate Cass for helping me out tonight, dude. Yeah, I really do. We're gonna sign out of here. Hey, Cass, go ahead and shout out your channel if you'd like.
Oh, sure. I'm Kaz Warfox. I do pretty much what everyone else does here. I do political commentary, video streams. I do some gaming when I'm usually bored. Maybe some game discussions about things. Maybe a few reviews if I get the time to, because those take a while. But if there's one thing to stay for my channel right now, it's about the show I'm creating called the Peto Files, where I'm literally scouring the internet, looking around for spurgy pedophiles to talk about and make fun of them. And it's mostly just basically me doing what you would expect from that, just laughing at spurgs and documenting them, making fun of them, and laughing at how they spurg if they eventually find me. there's a
Well,
there's a community that has found me already, and they're mad as hell.
yes. Here's a question real quick before we wrap up.
Mhm.
If you find some actual evidence, you're gonna report these fuckers, right?
Well, one of the rules I'm going to set, and I am already setting, is if you have genuine evidence that this person is an offending pedophile and is doing anything illegal, send that information to the cops first. And if I find that they are doing something, right? Yeah, I'll definitely have to report their ass. The show is mostly just there for what the show's really there for is just entertainment and laughing at these spurgy pedophiles, because they really are spurgy when you expose them. And that's really it.
Okay, well, as long as if something real comes up, it's going to be reported because these fuckers don't need to be on the street.
It will be reported, and it will also be documented if and when the cops actually arrest this person and put them behind bars.
Awesome. And on that note, I think you're doing the community a real service because these people are pieces of shit.
Oh yeah.
Fuck them. Thank you everybody for coming out. Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do tomorrow. We got another show lined up, of course, but it might be another one on this censorship. I don't think this story's gonna die, guys.
Oh,
I think it's gonna continue.
Oh, it's gonna continue, especially when people start disappearing.
Yeah, Sinatra says a lot of other people. I'm lucky I have not been caught up in it yet. We will see.
Google's going to pop up the affinity gauntlet on the social medias and snap half of the content creators off in existence.
Yeah. Good night, everybody. Good luck. Don't go to France. We're out of here.